Have you felt it? That quiet, persistent ache deep in your chest. You have checked every box. You are the daughter, the mother, the reliable professional. But in the silence of the night, there is a weariness you cannot name. I am 50 now. I have stood at the edge of this abyss, watching so many carry this heavy, silent burden, thinking it is a failure. It is not. It is an urgent whisper from your soul. What if this exhaustion is actually your secret map, the key to the authentic wholeness you have been told to sacrifice? We tell ourselves such pretty lies, don't we? Just one more promotion, just get the kids to college, just get through this week, and then I will rest. But the finish line keeps moving. You are running on a treadmill of expectations, fueled by coffee and anxiety, thinking if you just try harder, the heavy feeling will lift. It won't, because you are not fighting your schedule. You are fighting your own programming. Carl Jung had a name for these invisible barriers. He called them complexes. Do not let the clinical word scare you. Think of a complex as a knot of emotionally charged energy hidden deep in your unconscious. It's like a splinter buried under the skin of your psyche. Most of the time, you do not even know it is there. But when someone touches it, say a critical tone from your boss or a distant look from your spouse, boom, you are hijacked. Suddenly, you are not a 45-year-old professional. You are a terrified 7-year-old, desperate for approval, or a rebellious teenager ready to burn the house down. You overreact. You shut down. You feel that sudden, irrational flood of shame or rage. And then the shame of the reaction makes you tired, so you push it back down. You use all your energy to keep that beach ball underwater. This is why you are exhausted, not because of the work, but because of the holding. And here is the brutal truth about midlife. The energy you used to suppress these complexes is running out. Your soul is too tired to keep lying. The cracks in the mask are appearing, and society calls this a crisis. They tell you to patch it up with a vacation or a new car, but your soul knows better. This exhaustion is not a sign of death. It is the sound of the beach ball demanding to surface. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was the kind of woman who held the world together. She was the first one in the office, the last one at the PTA meeting. Her friends called her the Rock. She had built a life that looked perfect from the outside, but inside, she was running from a ghost. One Tuesday morning, her boss made a small, careless comment about a typo in her report. Just a typo. But for Sarah, the ground vanished. She went to the bathroom, locked the stall door, and collapsed. She couldn't breathe. She wasn't crying over a typo. She was crying because that tiny criticism had touched a massive, hidden complex. The complex of not good enough. The inferiority complex. See, Sarah had spent 40 years building a fortress of perfection to protect a wounded little girl who was once told she was a mistake. And in that bathroom stall, the fortress crumbled. This is the moment most people call a breakdown, but Carl Jung, the wise old soul of psychology, would call it a breakthrough. He said, complexes are the architects of dreams and the authors of symptoms. They are not trying to destroy you. They are trying to wake you up. That panic attack in the bathroom wasn't a malfunction. It was a messenger. It was her soul screaming, "Sarah, this armor is too heavy. You cannot carry it anymore."
You see, we spend our lives running from our complexes, thinking they're monsters. But what if the monster is just a wounded child in a scary mask? What if the very thing that trips you up is actually trying to stop you from running off a cliff? Sarah didn't need to work harder. She needed to stop. She needed to turn around and face the ghost. And when she finally did, she didn't find a monster. She found the lost part of herself that held her creativity, her softness, and her true power. The wound was not the end of her story. It was the beginning of her real life.
So, my friend, how do we do what Sarah did? How do we stop running and start reading the map inside our own wounds? I am going to share with you 5 steps. This is not a quick fix. This is a sacred practice. The first step is to notice the charge. A complex announces itself with an electrical charge. It is that tidal wave of emotion that is completely out of proportion to the event. The email from your boss feels like a death sentence. A sideways glance from a stranger feels like a verdict on your soul. When you feel that hot flash of anger, that cold dread in your stomach, that is your signal. Do not judge it. Do not fix it. Just notice. Say to yourself, there it is, the charge. You have just illuminated a piece of the map. The second step is to name the pattern. Once you feel the charge, ask yourself this question. Who is in the driver's seat right now? Is it the people pleaser, desperate to avoid conflict? Is it the inner critic, telling you that you are a failure? Is it the victim, convinced the world is against you? By naming this part of yourself, you create separation. You are no longer possessed by it. You are observing it. This is the beginning of what Jung called shadow work. You are not fighting a monster. You are simply turning on the light to see what is in the room. Now, this next step is the hardest. It is the one that will change everything. It goes against every survival instinct you have. The third step is the sacred pause. When that complex is activated, every cell in your body will scream at you to react, to send the angry email, to shut down and withdraw, to apologize for something you did not do. Your job is to do nothing. Breathe. Just breathe into the space between the trigger and your usual response. 1, 2, 3. In that space is your freedom. You are stopping the runaway train before it leaves the station. You are taking your power back from the ghost. The fourth step is to dialogue with the wound. This may sound strange, but it is the most profound work you can do. Later, when you are calm, you invite that part of you to speak. You do not interrogate it. You invite it for tea. You sit down with the pleaser and ask, "What are you so afraid of?" You sit down with the inner critic and ask, "What are you trying to protect me from?" You sit with that terrified 7-year-old inside of you and ask, "What do you need from me right now?" Listen for the answer. It will come not as a thought, but as a feeling, a whisper, an image. The answer is usually very simple. I need to feel safe. I need to feel seen. I need to know that I am enough. And the final step, step 5, is integration. This is the great shift. This is where you move from identifying with the wound to becoming the healer of the wound. You stop saying, "I am anxious," and you start saying, "I am the one who is experiencing anxiety." You are not the storm. You are the sky that holds the storm. You bring that wounded part of you out of the basement of the unconscious and into the living room of your heart. You tell it, "I see you. I hear you. You belong here." When you do this, something miraculous happens. The enormous energy you were using to keep that beach ball underwater is released. It does not become a weapon that hurts others. It becomes fuel. Fuel for your creativity, your compassion, your boundaries, and your wholeness. You are no longer a fragmented person at war with yourself. You are becoming whole. This is the point in most videos where the credits would roll. You have the information. You have the 5 steps. But knowledge without action is just another weight to carry. It is another pretty idea that collects dust on the shelf of your mind. I did not create this space for you to collect more ideas. I created it for you to change your life. So I am going to challenge you right now. I am asking you to be brutally honest with yourself for just one moment. What is the one repeating loop that is draining your life force this week, that is keeping you stuck in that familiar exhaustion? Is it the loop of procrastination? The loop of self-criticism? The loop of seeking validation from people who will never give it? I want you to choose one, the one that feels the heaviest. Now, I am inviting you to perform a small but radical act of power. This is more than a comment. It is a ritual. It is an act of drawing a line in the sand. You are taking something that has been a vague, heavy fog inside you and giving it a name. The moment you name it, it loses its invisible power over you. You are no longer its victim. You are its witness. So here is the challenge. I want you to go to the comments right now and type 2 words, "Heal now," followed by the name of that burden. Heal now, the fear of failure. Heal now, the need to be perfect. By writing it down, you are declaring to your own soul that you are ready to stop the war. You are ready to begin the healing. And then read the comments from the others who have been brave enough to do the same. You will see that you are not in this fight alone. We are a community of map readers. We are here to walk each other home. The clock is ticking for all of us. Do not wait until you are 50 to start this work. Start now. Take back your power, one comment at a time. You might think this work is selfish, that to focus on your own wounds is to turn your back on the world. Listen to me. A fragmented person gives from a place of resentment and quiet depletion. A whole person gives from a wellspring of true power. This is the greatest legacy you can leave. If this map resonated with you today, share it with a friend who is still wandering in the dark. Subscribe to join this community of map readers. And remember, I read every single comment you leave. But as you begin to heal these inner knots, you will start to notice the outer roles you have played, especially the sacred role of parent, begin to shift. Many call this next stage the empty nest, a time of loss. But Carl Jung saw it differently. He saw it not as an ending, but as the soul's greatest invitation to rebirth. If you are ready to explore that profound journey, join me in the next video. We will discover how this quiet, empty space is actually the sacred ground for your truest self to finally be born. The journey has just begun. Go live. I am 50, and I am walking this path with you.